Hi, and welcome to this masterclass with myself, Sabine Matharu, and Emma Gosling.
Hello, hi, nice to see you again.
And this is really it's called Get Out of Your Own Way, and Skyrocket 2021. Really, that's what we want to talk to you about today. And also, we've just completed the From Idea to Launch challenge. And for those that have been in the challenge, it's a great opportunity just to catch up on everything. And for those that weren't able to be in the challenge, obviously we'll get a full masterclass today. So if you're joining us live, please say hello. If you're watching on replay, give us a hashtag replay. So Emma, I'm just going to go in and make sure we are live and everything works. And so over to you. Maybe you're going to do a little session with us as well in terms of mindset.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about fear, which is such a big one when it comes to mindset. And we're going to be looking at mapping out your business growth strategy, creating clarity around what you want. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about those blocks that stop you from moving out of your comfort zone and to coin a well-used phrase, play a bigger game, which obviously is used quite a lot. So I'm going to reuse it here. And it's not just about, playing a bigger game. It sounds like you're going to be like take on the world and sort of be a famous or in the public eye or something in what you do. But it's about absolutely maximizing your potential and helping even more people. We're about impact and helping people who need us to make a change in their lives in some way, to either learn a new skill or to move, to feel healthier or happier or whatever it is, find a relationship, whatever it is that you do. So when I talk about playing a bigger game, I mean to get yourself out there and creating the business and the lifestyle that you want with maximum impact. That's what I'm referring to.
Wow, that sounds really, really exciting. And you're right. I think it's about growing outside of your comfort zone and doing a few things differently. Then obviously 2021 has been a very difficult year for all of us. That's probably
2020.
2020. Yeah, I'm already thinking about it. It has been a different. Yeah, I'm already in the new year.
You're already in there. Yeah, you already switched that mindset switch.
But yeah, it has been a difficult year. But then also, there's also been quite a few learnings. So potentially something we can pick up, and definitely. It's been a traumatic year for some people, obviously, and there's been probably some deep scars in terms of self-belief, in terms of beliefs of what's happening around the world. Is that fair to say? Because that's really instilling limiting beliefs in terms of kind of selling to other people. Because we've talked about this quite a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about that in a GIF, because that's really going to help you get out of your own way, because that could really stop you in terms of the limiting belief. And then we're going to talk a bit about the strategy in terms of setting up and the kind of the tips that I've been sharing in the challenge last week. But let's just go through some of the limiting beliefs. Emma, I think that would be a good start.
Yeah. So yes, the reference to fear, it is a huge block, and we are designed as humans to feel fear. Obviously, it keeps us alive. It stops us from walking in front of a car or going too close to the edge of a cliff. We need to have a level of fear because it keeps us alive. However, lots of things that we are programmed with or conditioned with. If I use this word programming, it's basically a conditioning that we pick up when we're children. When we're born, we don't have a consciousness. We don't have we don't have any idea about anything really. We have our instincts to survive, to get food, to get warmth, to get love. And then as we grow, we start learning about how the world works mainly through the eyes of our caregivers. So it's not necessarily our experience of the world. It is what is projected onto us by our parents or our main caregivers' experiences of the world. And of course, their experiences come from their parents and their parents, so it goes back and back and back. So we are designed to understand and feel fear. But if we have experiences when we are children that teach us that we are not good enough in some way, or that we need to keep quiet, we need to hold back, we can't give our opinion, and that could be because of shame, it could be because of bullying, it could be because of something that a teacher says to you. All of those things kind of go into a kind of filing cabinet into the back of your mind, and those experiences create like a blueprint for how you will live your life as you grow up and become an adult. So because of this need as a child to be taken care of, because we can't survive without our caregivers, we can develop fears around rejection, which is a massive one, particularly with women that I work with. Fears around rejection, and it's not physical rejection. It's not like being, thrown out onto the streets and left to survive by yourself. It's about metaphorical rejection. So fear of judgment. What will people say? What will people think of me? And this can create the same reaction in our behaviors and our thought processes that a real fear can create as well. So we need to really work on dissecting or becoming aware of what is a real fear and what is imaginary fear. So this blueprint that we are conditioned with or programmed with is essentially what our mindset is. It's the collection of beliefs that create our thoughts, that help us to make sense of the world around us and ourselves. And when you have that mindset blueprint, those beliefs create your feelings. Your feelings then affect what behaviors you have. Your behaviors dictate what actions you take, and your actions are getting your results. So as an adult, about 95% of your beliefs, behaviors, actions, feelings are coming from your childhood programming or conditioning. So if as an adult you are playing small, as I mentioned before, we want to be playing a bigger game. This is if you're playing small, if you're staying in your comfort zone, if you're worried about being more visible or even being successful. People think a lot of the time it's about fear of failure, which can feel terrible. This is linked to our self-esteem, our self-worth. Oftentimes it's actually a fear of success. How would I manage success? How on earth would I cope with having, more success and more people wanting my services? How on earth could I cope? How would I cope with what my friends think about my success or my family thinks about my success? Because we grow up wanting to be the same as our tribe, as our family and our close kind of community. So if you're from a family that wasn't successful, didn't have a lot of money, for example, there could be a lot of programs running your behavior that is stopping you. Your mind is getting in your way, if that makes sense. Your mindset will stop you from moving out of that set of limitation because of the fear of not, being different to other people, letting people down, being more successful than someone else. So it is super, super important to work on the blocks. If you really, really want to move forward, if you want change, if you feel it in your gut that something's got to change and you want something different, but then all your behaviors are kind of getting in your way, procrastination,
imposter syndrome as well, isn't it? That's another one.
Sorry?
Imposter syndrome is
Yeah.
another one that could come into the way.
Yeah. Not feeling able to put up your prices because you feel like people won't pay for what you've got to give, or you're worried about asking for money because of what is going on in the world. Then those things are going to keep you in a perpetual loop of stuckness. So this is why you can work on your mindset by thinking in different ways, by being aware. Awareness is so powerful. Looking at how your beliefs are playing out. What are they stopping you from doing? And actually asking yourself the question, what is the danger here? Is there a danger? Is there a problem? Am I unable to cope? Do I have the resilience and the resources to cope with being successful? You would be surprised at how resilient most people are, but they don't give themselves that credit. It's almost like the mind is even blocking them from seeing how amazing or how brilliant you are, because it's almost like a kind of protection mechanism, protects you from that failing, or that being rejected, or that not being good enough, etc.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know if you've seen Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. But
no, I don't watch it. I've never seen it.
There was this one guy in there who was so scared of anything, heights, spiders, anything.
Oh,
But he
dear.
conquered so many of his fears, and he didn't know that he was so strong. I mean, that he really, really showed resilience. So you can do it when you're put in a position and when you believe that you can do it. So just another example.
Yeah, and sometimes in my case, I just kept hitting the same brick wall over and over again, and I thought, this is just too painful now. I've got to do something different. And sometimes when you go down to that kind of, no, I don't want to say low, not like low level, but sometimes if you're really trying to get past, and move on and expand and just do different things and do things a different way in your life and your business, because at some level you really want to, and it just keeps happening over and over again. At some point, lots of people will just say, enough, I need to sort this stuff out, and I'm ready. So if you're feeling ready for change, then we can definitely show you how you can overcome yourself, your mind that is, sort of controlling all those things about your life and the results that you get without you knowing, because unless you actually examine what the programs are in the subconscious, you don't even know. But most people know they've got them. Most people know they've got those blocks.
Yeah, I think
otherwise they would have the life that they wanted. So
yeah, exactly. So I think that was really, really useful, Emma. And is there an exercise that you can suggest, or would you like to point people? I'm not sure if you have time enough to actually do something. I'm not sure if you plan to take us through an exercise, or maybe we can just point them to one, which we done earlier.
I can talk a little bit about procrastination. And if you find yourself putting off things that you don't want to do because of those fears of, if you really examine it and look at why you don't want that post to go out on social media, why you don't want to send that email to your list, why you don't want to pick up the phone and speak to that person who might be able to get you a podcast slot or something like that, then if you really sense that there is this fear, there is a fear going on of it's not safe, or you could be rejected or judged or whatever, I like to talk to my inner child, because that if you think of the subconscious mind as being programmed from 0 to 7 years old, it is kind of like the child part of us, the child's view of how the world works and what we believe about ourselves. So I'd have a little internal conversation and say, what's going on here? What are the fears? You can write them down. All the pros, make a list, pros of being on a podcast, cons of being on a podcast, and try and reconcile, what are the actual dangers, and then flip it around. So if you have a con of, or people might laugh at me, and then just turn it around and say, what if people don't laugh at me? Then I'm laughing all the way to success, or something like that. You can switch it around and look at, well, what if those things don't happen? What will my life be like? And then write those down, and see your kind of plan forming. All the negative stuff that comes up, ask yourself the question, and what if that does not happen?
What if the opposite could happen?
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, what if the opposite happens? And do some writing around it, do some journaling around it. If you're putting off doing something, I don't know, maybe it's a presentation or a webinar, then if you're telling yourself you really hate doing those things, and you hate setting it up, or you hate being speaking in public, the more you tell yourself that you hate that thing, the more your mind will look to try and make you procrastinate, because it has to keep you away from the pain. It has to keep you away from danger. So when you know that, you can try and work it the other way around. You can lie to yourself and say, I love giving presentations. I love the opportunities, the doors of possibility that open up to me. At first, it might just feel really strange to say that, but your mind doesn't care. If you keep telling it that, it will accept it eventually, because you're the part of your mind that's controlling your behaviors. It absolutely doesn't care if you're successful, if you're happy. It doesn't care about much, really, apart from you being alive. So you can tell it what you want. And the more you tell it, the more your mind is going to understand that what you want to do is not fearful, is not dangerous, is not that you could actually be excited. You get the same production of chemicals in your body when you're scared and when you're excited. You think about being on a roller coaster. Some people scream with excitement, some people scream in fear. To say it's the same thing happening, same chemicals are being produced, but the interpretation is different for the people who think it's great and the people who think it's awful.
There's a question here. I mean, yes, limiting beliefs can be triggering. Also, what happens to the brain between the ages of 25 and 30? Is there any significance?
Oh, I don't know about that. I know that the brain is still maturing until we're about, it's still wiring until we're about 21, between 21 and 25, I think. And then people think, oh, if I'm over that age, then I'm not really, how am I going to do that? It is absolutely possible. You can actually speed up the rewiring of your brain through hypnosis techniques, which I use, which when you're in hypnosis, the brain is able to rewire much more quickly than when you're not in hypnosis. So I don't know between that period of time, to be honest. I know that we get another really big surge of wiring when we're teenagers. So if any of those experiences when you're between 0 and 7 keep getting repeated, so in similar ways, so similar scenarios where you don't, you're kind of told that you're not good enough, or that you need to behave in a certain way or do a certain thing, the more those things happen after the age of 7, the more they get cemented into your brain. That the neural pathways will become strengthened, basically. And so the belief is even more stronger, cemented, not cemented like cement, but it's even stronger and more prevalent.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Emma. That's very, very in depth in terms of the beliefs and how we can actually switch around. So that's probably number one. Get out of your own way. Is about switching over your limiting beliefs. And then I guess number 2, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 items we're going to mention today. Number 2 is definitely to make a decision where you want to go. It's your decision. It's not someone else's decision. and someone else can take the action for you. And then number 3 is actually do the action and stay accountable to, moving forwards. Regards to business strategy, with the mindset, maybe, your health, your wellness, all of these things, they don't just come from doing nothing. You got to actually also, put those actions in place. And that's one of the things. Emma and I are going to run a VIP workshop for vision workshop, which will be attached to, it's the bonus at the moment to our Quantum Growth Academy. That's what we've just launched, the Academy. And anyone who's coming into the Academy and works with us during 2021 and made that decision will actually get that vision workshop where we help you plan out 2021. So we'll talk to you in a little bit about the Academy in more detail as to what it is. But before we do that, let me just share a bit of strategy that you can take away for 2021. So I'm sort of the strategy part of the Academy, and Emma does a lot of the mindset. So it's a perfect match. I always say that it's really perfect, isn't it? And during the challenge, we've actually covered a few of the steps that we also teach in the Academy. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to switch over and get my PowerPoint onto the screen. So let's see if you can share that. Can we see that, Emma? My 9 steps? Okay. So this is the roadmap, the 9 steps to get predictable sales in 90 days. Now, this is specifically designed for female entrepreneurs, therapists, and coaches who want to create consistent income without the overwhelm, frustration, and detours. Now, some of these steps and all of these steps actually are things that you need to have in place in your business in order to make it work the way you want it to work. And the challenge is that some female entrepreneurs are missing some of the things or aren't very good in some of the other things on the steps. So what I want to do is I want to talk you through, obviously there are 3 levels. So the pivot level is about the foundation, and the build level is building on your foundations, and the monetize is really the scaling and getting out there. And potentially you might be here, thinking, well, actually I'm confused as to what I should be doing in my business and the kind of steps I need to take in what order. And that's exactly what the roadmap does. And that is also the centerpiece of the Quantum Growth Academy as to how the steps are laid out and what our members are going through in a sort of step-by-step blueprint, so to speak. And we spoke about this in the challenge. We got very clear in terms of a purpose and focus, and potentially you can just walk along the 9 steps and just mentally give yourself a number between 1 and 10, let's say. How do you score? If 10 is the best and you know everything, you've got everything in place in that area, give yourself a 10. If you're quite weak in that area, obviously, then that would be 1, and obviously somewhere in between you might sit. And if you are watching live with us, drop your number. We'd love to hear at the end what have you come up with. Okay, and if you're watching replay, always would love to see your number as well. So you'll have 90, I guess 90, a score of 90, right, in total. So the step 1 is really to know where you want to go. So imagine yourself, you go into the car and you're just driving off. You want to have an end destination, otherwise you don't know which road you're going to take and how far or maybe you need enough petrol to get from A to B. So make sure you have your sat nav set and what resources you need. That's what this is all about. And sometimes we may find ourselves, just sometimes we might find ourselves, we've been through a journey, and then we realize, it's not quite what I really want. It's not the kind of people I really want to attract. Or you start off with 2 or 3 or 4 different ideas and you want to make them all work. But then because you're going to kind of split yourself, and you're trying to doing too many projects, you're going to find it really hard. You're going to work all hours in the day, right? So is that really what you want to do in your business? Is it really that you want to be working, hours and hours and doing lots and lots of one-to-ones, for example, and you're really, really tired? Or do you potentially want to leverage your time, maybe change your business model, and maybe even think about some sort of group program and being able to create a bigger impact and also make more money in less time? That's all possible, but you need to know what's your purpose and your focus. How do you want to run your business? That's the step one. And step two is everything that Emma just said. It's about preparing yourself for that entrepreneurial journey and for the time when the day comes when you actually doubt yourself, when you're not quite sure how you're going to get that next client, when you're not sure about yourself and maybe imposter syndrome's kind of knocking on the door, when you have a limiting belief about the pricing, that your offer is too expensive and nobody wants to buy it, or on the day when you actually show up on a live stream and nobody watches and you think, well, nobody actually wants to hear what I got to say anyway. Those are the days when you need this mindset fix and you need a place and support when that's happening. And we put these success foundations in place with you, obviously, so that you can always tap into that. And then step 3 is all about your customer mojo. So what I mean by that is that, do you really know your customer, what they are struggling with? Now, I know you guys, I know my female entrepreneurs, which are usually our spiritual therapists, coaches, consultants, who love what they do, and they're amazingly gifted. But it's just the roadmap, the strategy, the technology maybe isn't quite there, and they need that support. And we know imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs, and all of these kind of things are also coming into the mix in terms of the problems. But I think the ultimate goal, if I dare to say, is that we as entrepreneurs, we want to make an impact. Yes, we want to share our gifts. We want to heal. We want to make the world a better place. We want to be our own bosses. Absolutely. That's why we have this choice. And we want to maybe not work all day, because otherwise we might just go back to a 9 to 5. We want to maybe have that flexibility, and maybe just maybe we want to make more money than we would have been able to do in a paid job. How about that? And we can do this. It's absolutely possible with the right business model. So I know my customers, and of course we need to make money in our business in order to survive, in order to be able to give back, and in order to do some bigger and greater work and continue doing our work. Okay, so you need to know your customer in that sense. You need to know what keeps them up at night, and that's one of the steps that we've showed you in the challenge. And you can actually think about that and write that down, journal around that. But now you know the customer, you go to step 4, because now you want to create that power core message. Emma, I'm just going to mute you for a second, or maybe you can mute yourself just quickly. Thank you. So the power core message is really that piece. You can see that actually here. Who is this for? So I help, right? Spiritual female entrepreneurs. Who? So I help who? Right? Who want to benefit from a consistent income, for example, without the pain point, without the overwhelm. And if you can attach a timeline to that as well, and the major problem is to get sales and money into the business, so you want to get this predictable sales in 90 days, just try to attach a timeline. Yes, like for example, our Quantum Growth Academy is a 12-month program, but in the first 90 days, we're going to work with our women very intensively and give them all the tools. And I can hand on heart say that they can already create the predictable sales in 90 days, but it doesn't mean that they're out on the street. There will be some more things they're going to build and increase their sales, so that at least they have the tools available and the framework in place in the 90 days. So it could be that you're saying, well, actually, I work with someone and it's going to take at least 6 to 12 months to do a transformation, and that's fine. maybe you can, you know, I don't know how many weeks you're working with someone, but maybe you can specify that a little bit more and make it tight. And maybe there are 2 or 3 phases, because it is important not to go. I mean, if someone said to you, right, I'm going to help you to get predictable sales in 3 years, are you going to say to me, well, I'm not going to join your program. That's too long. I want it like now. I want it in a short period of time. So whatever you do, any transformation, any weight loss, anything, you know, people want it in a short space of time, right? But of course, it has to be logical in terms of, well, you know, I would never say you get predictable sales in 24 hours. This is just too much work to do to put this in place, or lose 10 kg in 7 days. Maybe that's not going to happen either. Just think about it for you. What is that? And then put that into your power core message. Because from the power core message, you can now go and create your own signature solution program, which we teach. It's a 9-step process. These are here. You can see the 9 steps. They build up. You can see that roadmap. We start from the bottom. We work our way up. We can actually show you exactly that path to build, you know, your online business. So what is it that you are teaching your clients? And surely, even if you've been working one-to-one with people, have there been things you've been always telling them about, or have there been some steps which everyone needed all the time anyway? So what are these steps? Can you showcase them? Especially important when you work, you know, on a spiritual basis, or sort of nutritionist therapists who, you know, don't always can express it very well as to what that transformation looks like. So now is your chance to create that 9-step program, because once you have something like this, people will see you differently. People will know, this person's different. She's got that an own signature solution program, which not a lot of people actually have. They talk about it, but they don't have it mapped out like this, and they don't have the branding, the colors, and everything else sorted out, and be able to actually present it in this way. That's what's going to make you stand out. The signature solution is something we do inside the Quantum Growth Academy. We help you create the signature solution. Well, once you've got the signature solution, you want to put it out there, you want to launch. So how are you going to launch, and how do you actually create those leads, and how do you continuously get the leads 24/7 without you know, having to post on Facebook every day, and, you know, having lots of headaches, creating tons of content and trial and error and all that. So you need to put something in place that makes sense, something that is a little bit more automated and starts to become more predictable, because you can actually measure. You can say, okay, for this page, so it starts off with a landing page. Actually, I'm going to toggle over and show you the funnel. But you can measure and say, well, actually, 100 people have, I'm going to go there straight away. 100 people have landed on this page. Let's take this one. So here's a typical, like a simplified sales funnel. Okay, so you start off somewhere on social media, or wherever, you know, wherever you can leave a link somewhere. People click on it, and then they go to step 2, to your opt-in page or landing page, where they put in their email address and their name, and they want to download something that you can give away for free, so you can actually showcase who you are, what you do, and you can measure, right? 100 people have landed on step 2. Out of 100 people, 50 people have entered their email, and then they went to step 3. They saw your thank you page. Okay, so you know, how well or how badly this page 2 is doing. If it's only 10 people out of 100, then you say, well, actually, I need to optimize this page. I want to make this better, because I'm putting so much effort into step 1. I'm even maybe paying Facebook ads to get people to this page so that they opt in. So you make it as best as you can. And obviously something, again, which we do inside the academy, where firstly we help you build this page, and then secondly we're going to help you optimize it. We look at the data, we look at the different elements. Okay, what's the headline, right? What's about this? Can we improve this? How about that? How about changing it over? Yeah, you need that feedback, and then continuous sort of nurture and tweak. And then you go to step 3, which is your thank you page. Now, a lot of people making the mistake of just saying, thank you very much for downloading this freebie, go to your inbox and, collect it in your email. Well, that's not the best use of, when it comes to a thank you page. You want to put yourself out there on that thank you page and put a video there, a little mini webinar where you have the chance to do a little presentation as to what you do and get people potentially on a call. And that will be step 4, book a call. If you want to know more, book a call. And yes, in the back end, not everyone's going to book a call right away. You want to have some emails going out. You want to, obviously, they've given you their email address, and now it's about nurture sequence. It's about nurturing people, sending them some more value, getting to know you. Maybe you have a Facebook group, you want to get them in there. You can do so many different things. Be very creative. You need to have at least 30 days of an email sequence to continue this conversation with these people. Imagine you didn't have any of this. Just imagine. And Emma, interrupt me if there's any questions, because all I can see is my PowerPoint slide. Actually, I hope I'm still live. Just unmute very quickly.
Yeah, you're still live. Yep, you're doing fine.
I do what I teach all the time. So imagine you don't have this stuff in place. You'd be just going around in circles every day, going to Facebook groups and just randomly hitting up people and sending them messages and, do you want to get on a call? I do this. Or maybe you're selling some low ticket items. It's not going to make you rich. Now, this is a different machine. This is like a very, very different way of doing business. It's about really creating a business with longevity, with profit, with focus and sustainability. And that's one of the reasons why businesses a lot of businesses starting up, they're not getting the right advice. They may be trying to do a lot of DIY, and then they have all these shiny objects, this program and that software, and then they're trying to piecemeal it all together, but I've never really sussed out the 9 steps and the true essence of what it actually takes to create a lead generation machine that will then go and help you transform these people into customers. And that's what this is. And that's your digital assets. That's what we call digital assets. They can range from, obviously, your workbooks, your sort of PDFs, your emails, your videos. These are all your digital assets. Once you have them in place, obviously, time is about lead attraction. It's about generating leads. And we know we have, obviously, a number of different platforms and ways we can actually attract your leads. But there's 2 main streams or categories of how to create a lead. So number 1, it's your organic lead attraction. And yes, you think it's free. On the surface, it's free, but it requires a lot of your time and energy, because you need to dedicate time, potentially going into Facebook groups, creating content, posting, doing Facebook Lives, or if you have a blog, you want to write blog posts, or you have an online TV show, which, like I've done about 200 interviews in my time and massively increased my visibility. I've also had an online magazine. I've written 2 books. These are all the traction strategies. Doing a podcast. I mean, there's gazillions of things you could be doing. However, you can see this is quite time consuming if you do a lot of these things. And sometimes people are doing it detached from their signature solution. So what we teach inside the academy is, like, now you've got your signature solution, you also have a content strategy ready, because it will stem from your 9 steps that you have. And you can always point back and say, actually, this piece of the puzzle is 1 out of the 9 steps which I teach in the academy. If you want the whole process, all the 9 steps, and make it work all together, join the academy, kind of thing, right? So whatever you are launching. So that's the organic lead attraction. And then you have the paid version. And that's where we go into more nurture, tweak, monetize in the academy, like steps 8 and 9, because the paid version will require you to actually being able to optimize any of the digital assets that you have, any of the messaging you're putting out there, before you actually put money into paid traffic, into the paid advertising. And that tends to be something like Facebook, which is always a great start. Of course, there's other paid platforms there, but Facebook ads are the most popular ones. But if you don't have steps 3, 4, 5, or 6 in place, don't even think about doing Facebook ads, because you're just gonna put money down the drain because you don't know. And also nurture and tweak. Step 8 is important before you can monetize and scale with Facebook ads and really do a bit more hands-off lead generation. And of course, you need to know how to do sales, how to handle objections, when you get on calls. And of course, maybe you want to create some passive income funnel or something like this, where there's a sales page that sells for you. But obviously, you need to know, again, your customers. You need to know what their problems are. You need to be very good in writing some sales copy, so that and have a great offer as well, so that they will actually just purchase themselves without you getting involved. So that's really the science of building a robust strategy. So the question is really, what do you want to build next year? What's your plans? Love to hear more. So I'm going to share this one. My 9 steps. Are there any questions? Let's see. Hi, Martha. Martha is here as well. Fabulous. We can't see all of your comments, unfortunately, because I'm streaming into 3 different places. So, but we do see the comments. We can't just see all of you watching, unfortunately. But we'd love to hear, your comments and see, what you want to create next year. And what we already said, Emma and I, we've come together. We've created this place where we teach all of this and make sure it all hangs together in one single place. And that's the Quantum Growth Academy. And we are starting the Academy in January because we know people want to have a bit of Christmas. But this side of Christmas, we're going to do a workshop together for anyone who decides to join us as a little bonus, as a sort of Kickstarter. You can actually find more info. I'm just going to grab the link. There we go. So am I excited? I know we've already had a number of ladies joining us in the Academy, so we are super excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I'm just going to open up the page, so the Quantum Growth Academy. So when you go to quantumgrowthacademy.com, you'll see, of course, also the 9-step program, and you can even read all the details about, the step-by-step process that we will take everyone through. But I just wanted to let you know there are a heap of templates in there, which I'm really excited about, because I love, creating visual things, because all of you are going to create also your 9-step program. So we've got the templates ready in Canva so that you can create that quite easily. We also have a content creation blueprint for social media and also your email marketing sequences in there too. And we help you create your digital programs, because I think I see a lot of programs not teaching how you can actually create your digital assets and your workbooks, your videos, and how to actually go and deliver that. And there's different ways that you can do that, but I don't see many programs actually teaching to that extent, because sometimes they just focus on lead generation or on sales funnels or on Facebook ads. So we do everything. We even help you become a world-class deliverer. I mean, obviously we can't influence, you as a coach, and I'm sure you have all your gifts and everything. It's about how to package it and how to deliver that. And that's what we help you with. We also teach about sales calls, how to do sales conversations, how to handle, sales objectives, because quite often they can come up and then we maybe don't know what to say, right? If someone says to you, I don't have the money or the time, but it's about setting up those conversations up front with qualified leads, right? With qualified prospects, and then having also a process as when you're on that call. I said email marketing sequences are there as well. So I've got a 30-day email marketing blueprint as part and parcel as well. And then obviously you want to know how to do webinars, how to do launching, all that stuff, how to put together a successful webinar. We have scripts for videos, for the webinars, scripts for, let's say frameworks, because you have to make it your own, basically. But at least, what would you say in the beginning? What's the middle? What's the end? And how do you make a call to action? How do you sell your programs? And of course, a whole Facebook scripts as well, in terms of how do you create your ads? How do you create your visuals? How you go about targeting people on Facebook, right? So all these things are packaged up in our templates. Right now, as I said, we have the early bird bonuses available until tonight. If you see this and you want to book a call with us, we will obviously hold the early bird until we have spoken to you. Or if you inquired, you see this quite late tonight, and we'll hold the spaces as much as possible and honor the early bird. But it's incredible. We're going to do this vision workshop together with all of the different levels. So we've got 3 levels going. One is the self-study, which is the boot camp. We've got the Academy Light, which is helping you, implement 90 days. It's like a mastermind. And then we have another 9 months for implementation together as well. And it's the same with the Elite, but with the Elite, you actually get some done for you services as well. And I've added here a 60-minute one-to-one booster pre-start, kickstart as well. All the details are here in terms of what's included when you go to quantumgrowthacademy.com. And you can see sort of, exactly what the bonus is, what you're going to get in terms of the access. So, of course, you have the Quantum Growth Academy as like the 9 modules there as a bulk. And then you have audios that Emma has put together. Emma, maybe just a few words on True Potential, and then the Wired for Wealth, very powerful ones.
Sorry, did you say?
Yeah, the audios that you've put together. I think you can.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah. So.
And your live virtual retreat, which is bonus 12 for the Light and Elite members.
Yes, the retreat will be either delivered in a full block, or it will be split over 2 batches, just depending on time zones, really. And the retreat is going to be all things mindset. You're going to learn about the absolute power that you have. I was going to say at your fingertips, but in your brain, in your head, in your brain. And we are going to do some quite deep work on finding out where those limiting beliefs have come from, and then helping you to reframe them and to rewire them. So the audios complement the mindset retreat. They have to be listened to regularly, because when you listen to each of the audios, you will be helping to create new neural circuitry in your brain that will start to create a different. If you imagine the subconscious mind is like the back operating system of a computer, and it's running in the background and it's doing its thing, it's controlling everything that you do. We're going to be upgrading it and updating it so that your new autopilot system, your beliefs and your behaviors are going to be upgraded to more positive and empowering beliefs and behaviors. So it will be a more natural part. It's going to become who you are rather than what you do. That's what I like to say.
Love it. Yeah, and this is an ongoing thing, and this is great because it's not just a one-off, but you also have continuous mindset support in the group as well. That's the reason why we've actually structured it in a way where we have 90 days more intensive. We're going to deliver all the different tools that you need. We'll help you implement that. And then you have another 9 months to actually, tweak, improve, come back to us, continue working on your mindset and have that accountability. And I think this is the beauty of this program, because I really thought about it long and hard. And I thought, actually, you know what? After 90 days, it's not over. There's still more work to be done. And I don't want anyone to, not have that support. And that's why we have this 12-month support available. And then we have tons of bonuses. As you can see, you know, Trello board, Canvas banners. We're going to get Canvas banners from our branding strategists. So we have a branding strategist coming in, doing a workshop with us as well. That's for the elite and the light level as guest experts. But as you can see now, going into over to the black version, you have also done for you so the funnels that I was showing you, the calendar setup, welcome email sequences, lead magnet will even be done for you. And also you will receive a one-to-one personalized branding session. So you see, the bootcamp is pretty much the self-study option. You will get everything that you need to get started. And if you want to upgrade later on, that's absolutely possible by just paying the difference. But where we have a 12-month Facebook group and an ongoing support will be more like in the light and the elite versions. And of course, depends on your budget, absolutely, and also depends on how quick you want to get the ground running. Some women joined in the elite level because they're still working maybe in a full-time job and they just don't have that time and that energy to, you know, learn all the software and everything else. Others joined at the elite level where they say, well, actually, I'm fine. I want to learn everything. I want to do everything myself, and I'm happy to invest that time. So it really depends where you are right now. With the elite level, you'd also get co-working sessions and drop-in clinics, so even more support, and also 6 one-to-one sessions with myself to really go through what are you working on right now, and really tweaking and get that one-to-one support. This is not going to be like, you know, hundreds of people in a group and you don't get the airtime. It's very important that you have that accountability, that you can share what you're working on, and you're going to get your answers that you need. So the investments today are for the bootcamp $497, or you can also have installment, 3 installments of $177, and as you can see, like, the value is almost £3,000, and you only pay $497 right now. So it's incredible. The same with the other 2 packages, where the light version of the academy has over £12,000 worth of stuff in there, and it's only priced at $197 as a one-off. Or you can go for a 12 monthly payment, which will be a little bit more over the 12 months at $197 a month. And then the elite level would be $3,997. And again, you can spread the investment into a 12-month payment plan as well. That would be $397 a month. I guess if I had this, I created the place that I wanted to have. When I started off, I would have loved to have everything under one roof, and I don't have to go and purchase all these different things. And that's the reason why, you know, I'm always thinking about what else can I add, and there may be some more stuff coming in. The one thing is for sure, I don't think this is going to be, we're going to be launching this again at this sort of price. I mean, it is phenomenal. So I think it's next year we're gonna have to up the pricing, but obviously right now it's, I think, something we just want to put out there and help as many ladies as we can set up for 2021. So Emma, any last words, any questions here, any comments? Love to hear. That sounds right. Yeah, fantastic, Martha. What's the criteria? Yes, there is a criteria. Now, it's not that we're judgmental or anything like this, and you probably understand this. I've closed the whole thing. I've closed it now. What's the criteria? I mean, the criteria is you want to build a sustainable business in 2021, and that you have something that you can teach, that you can offer, and that you can package up as an online program. We're not working really with offline people or e-commerce shops or something like this. Network marketing is a little bit hard as well, because you don't always control the pricing strategies of your supplier, and we're more working with women who want to put something out there that's £500, £1,000, £2,000, £3,000, and we help you structure these kind of packages. We're really, really humble to say that everyone's that joined are all very, very amazing, like friendly women like lots of fun to work with as well, and so coachable and so keen to actually share and to, you know, to be so open and I don't know, there's this friendship as well, isn't it, Emma? I mean, that's probably the criteria. And as you really want to step out of your comfort zone, and I know sometimes it's going to be a little bit, I guess, not comfortable, you know, and you're going to be stretched, but we want to help you through that. And I think if you're prepared to go through that and stick with us, you know, and believe in yourself, then this could be the right place for you. So yeah, get in touch, or, you know, if you're sure which level, or maybe you don't know yet which level is the best for me, then, you know, just get in touch. There's a button there on the quantumgrowthacademy.com just to book a call with me. We can have that conversation. And if that call's not going to happen, you know, until tomorrow or on Wednesday, we'll still keep that space for you for all the early bird options. So don't worry about that, okay? Emma, what would you say in terms of what's the criteria?
I think you've covered it all. I think I just want to say that it's just such a great opportunity for me as a business owner to collaborate with you, because, you know, I could have done with your services about 2-3 years ago, and I struggled quite a bit with my you know, getting my stuff into a program with all the digital assets. I didn't even know what a digital asset was. So, you know, and that's why I've learned so much from you, and I just want to say thank you and thanks for the opportunity to be part of this, because I can just see the potential of both sides. And, you know, if you're in the sort of mindset and kind of therapy kind of space, you can see how you can help people at a certain level, but you can't be a business strategist. Whereas if you're in your position, you can do all that bit, but you might not have the mindset stuff. So, you know, we've both helped each other in that respect as well, which is fantastic. So we know where we're both coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. And yeah, so I think we've gone through what we wanted to share, and hopefully, you know, you may be in a position to come and join us. We'd love to welcome you in the academy. We'll kick off with this amazing vision workshop in about 2 weeks' time. And we'll also have a Christmas party, because for me, it's all about, you know, networking and connection, and and getting you really, really set up for 2021. And then we can create this amazing time together and just support throughout the entire year. That's really my wish. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Emma, for hopping on. Thank you for those ladies that have been through the challenge and that supported us and, you know, done the work, and well done for doing that. I might come into the challenge group one more time tonight, because there's a few more prizes to be won.
Oh, yes.
So there's still chances to enter. So I'll go through the group and make sure we'll pick out those ladies that really deserve, you know, that have worked hard, and we'll do that prize draw later.
Spin that wheel.
We'll spin the wheel later. Okay, I look forward to seeing you either inside one of my other groups or inside the academy. Wherever you are, just let us know what you're up to, what you do in 2021, and maybe what have you learned from this session, whether you're more clearer, what's your score now. Right now, I think from out of a 90, where is your score right now, and where do you want it to be? And how are you going to move that score up, to know that all of the different items or different moving parts in your business are working like clockwork. That's what I wish for you guys. Okay. Have a good afternoon, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Take care.